Hello, Leo, Venus. I am here to give you a read straight from the hip with lots of lip. And we're going to be diving into what's coming in for you in the love department. This is a timeless reading. So the message finds you when you're ready to receive it. And this is for Leo Venus placements or those who have their Venus in the house of Leo, which is the fifth house. So if you don't know your natal chart, you should go get yourself one. I'm going to be bringing in a lot more kind of astrologically specific reads as far as placements on this channel. It's something I want to dive into. I just want to explore something different. And I feel drawn to head in that direction and sort of go off some beaten paths with these astrology readings. Okay, so I encourage you to get your hands on a natal chart. If you don't have one, Astro is a really good source. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but I really like what they offer because they also um, get into the asteroid placements, and that I feel plays a significant role. So you can find them at astrodienst.com, and that's ASTRODIENST.com. All you need is the date, time, place you were born, and you got the hookup. There's no fee. And they have a lot of different free resources there too. So it's really kind of a cool website. All right. I did get some downloads coming in for you right off the bat when I was just tuning into your energy. And the first thing that kind of went down was the cicadas came out. Isn't this interesting? No fire, no fire. I feel like something burned out, something came to an end. You feel burned out, your energy is a little low right now. I think you got really burned out by a relationship. I think you got burned. I think you played with fire and you got burned. This was kind of like the message that was coming through. I'm burning some eucalyptus right now because I feel like you really have a need to clear the air. There's things that you've held in that you haven't communicated, that you haven't gotten off your chest. I feel like a lot of this has had to do with not rocking the boat. Um, Maybe in some way you didn't want to draw attention to yourself, but that's kind of changing now. You're realizing that you can't just sort of like hide out in the shadows, like can't put baby in a corner kind of energy is what's coming through. And that you're actually being called to kind of come forward and speak your piece and enter into what might be some difficult communication, especially because it seems like there's been kind of on and off communication in your situation. The reason why I say that is because the cicadas came in, and the cicadas out of nowhere got really loud. If you know about cicadas and if you've ever heard them, they kind of screeching. It's kind of like this sort of screeching noise. And it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild the first time you hear it, because I'd never heard cicadas before until I got out here to the Detroit area. And when I first heard it, I was like, what the hell is that? I mean, it kind of sounded like a bird screeching, but like kind of not. And it was so loud. It was just like everywhere. Okay. And so I feel like there's this kind of like energy around you right now where you kind of had to cut off some communication with somebody. You had to like put things on ice because things were just getting too volatile, too heated. And especially in terms of the communication, like you felt like you were just being talked at. You couldn't get your piece to come in. You weren't given an opportunity to speak what you needed to speak and get off your heart in the situation. And so it was really just kind of like this blocking energy that sort of like shut down your voice. I think you've really been grappling with this. And it's interesting because, cicadas communicate this way for many different reasons. Sometimes it's just to relay messages, right? Who knows what cicadas talk about, but just relaying messages to one another. Sometimes it's about mating, um, maybe I'm just with the way that they sound, the way they're screeching, like maybe you weren't on the same page, like sexually either with this person. Maybe you felt like you weren't getting your needs fulfilled, and maybe it felt a bit like it was all about their sexual gratification. They never showed much concern about what you were feeling, what you wanted, what turned you on. Um, Maybe you got vocal about this too, and it might have started some kind of fight, and now things are like kind of cold and distant in the connection. That's one story that's coming through. So there's many different ways that this could like lay out. I do feel like this mating piece, like I do feel there's some sexual component in the conflict though. There's something that kicked that off. Maybe two people are not on the same page. Like one person wants to have multiple partner dynamic. Maybe one person wants kind of a polyamorous lifestyle. The other wants very much one-on-one. They each like different flavors in bed. There's peace kind of coming through strongly, but I do feel like communication is kind of like it's distant, if not completely like nil. And I feel like there's been some major ending in this situation, like something's come to a close. I feel that there was a sense of confusion for a long time. It was hard to see things clearly, but I think it was kind of a beneficial thing that this communication piece was like sort of put on pause for you all because you weren't really communicating with each other. You were like talking at each other. In some cases, you were full on arguing with each other, fighting, and there was no willingness to really communicate, which involves active listening. Listening is an action. It's not always about talking. It's not always about getting the last word in. It's not always about being the one to have the final say, or when somebody says something to you that maybe it's a little activating, it kind of hurts you in the heart, that you immediately start talking over them so they are not allowed to express what they have to say. There's a lot of this kind of like dynamic playing out in your relationship situations and your love situations where there's blockage going on. Somebody's trying to block your expression. You're not being given the opportunity to say what you need to say. And I feel like that cicada medicine, cicada totem is all about moving out of this place of um, not being seen, not being heard, and instead really bringing your voice forward, bringing your expression forward. So I feel like this is an important piece. And though this time, not communicating with this person has been stressful on one level, I feel like on another level, it's helped you get very clear. You have clarity where you didn't have it before. You're seeing things differently. You're finally seeing them from your point of view instead of seeing them through the other's eyes. And I think there was a little bit of confusion that was caused in this connection. I do feel like there were some mind games, and I do feel like there was some double talk, and there was just an inauthenticity and very slippery, like elusive quality to the communication you were receiving from this person, where you felt it was like always dancing around the issue. And sometimes that really got you caught up in your mind, got you confused in your mind, where soon you were questioning yourself and your own truth. I think you felt very confused for a long time about how to move through this situation. I got a big download on you, Leo Venus. I got a big download on you, Leo Venus. I mean, really more so than any of the other sign placements for Venus that I've read so far. I got just so much coming in from you. And I think that that's because you've had so much held back for so long, and there's so much you need to bring forward. I'm really feeling this message very strongly for you. All right. So I do feel that once you were able to see clearly, and maybe this person, maybe they did their fair share of gaslighting, maybe would always tell you you were overreacting when you did bring your voice forward. Maybe it always turned into a big argument if you ever had something to say that they weren't 100% on board with. But I think that, for a while there, you kind of took it on and you let it silence you. And I feel like you are seeing things clearly now. You're coming out of that. And I feel like a lot of you are choosing to end a cycle. This is what I'm picking up. But cicada energy is also about rebirth too. So I feel like there's some energy coming in on the other side of this. And this is what's really front and center for you right now, especially as we're moving through this retrograde period. But we're going to see what the cards have to say. Okay. We haven't even shuffled the cards yet. I did a pre-shuffle to get them ready, but I haven't, dived into actually pulling on your energy. So let's see on the bottom of the deck. We got the world there. Okay. That is bringing something to completion. It's a successful completion. That successful completion brings something more fitting on the other side. This is the AE Weight holographic deck I'm working with. It's a brand new deck that my friend got me for my birthday, an early birthday present. My birthday is not until October 13th, but I've been enjoying working with these cards. They're a little bit slippery though, because they're so brand new. So I got to get used to them. And again, like drawn to start with a holographic deck with you, because I feel like, again, there's like some illusion you're coming out of. Woo! Oh my gosh. Oh, wow. Okay. We got one card upright and the rest in reverse. Notice the card that's in the upright. This is potent. Temperance. This is the angel of temperance that transmutes energy, brings balance, restores balance. I also really see temperance as a card of absolution, spiritual cleansing. I feel like you could use a good spiritual cleansing. You could use a good spiritual cleansing bath. I'm picking up bay leaf, rosemary, putting a quartz crystal in the tub with you, brewing up a tea with that basil and that rosemary. Because I feel like there's also this need to kind of call in sort of protective energy. And the love. There's some peace in what you've been going through where the love has really gone missing. I feel like love was really dishonored. And so there's this need around love to have a sense of safety, protection, and opening the heart again. I feel like the heart is a bit shut down. This is speaking to me really powerfully, but put together a bath, put some sea salt in there too, sea salt, baking soda, 2 cups of each. Bring in that bay leaf and rosemary tea, just brew it up, get it nice and brewed up. Put a clear quartz in the tub just to kind of hold the energy, cleanse the energy for you. Soak, give yourself a nice soak. Make sure you dunk your head under the water. You could work with Psalms 23 too. You could have a white candle going. You could get a 7-day white candle going. Let that candle kind of hold a vigil. Work with Psalms 23. I feel like there's a real need for cleansing of energy in this situation. I say this because the Hierophant came out in reverse. Okay? It's like this thing was not in alignment with spirit. This thing was not in alignment with spirit. I have to be honest in some cases, just because This is Broad Coven. I talk about the occult on this channel when it comes in. I'm seeing a lot of cards related to working, okay? Got 8 of Pentacles and the 7 of Pentacles. They're both in reverse. And what is that working in relation to? We got the Knight of Cups in reverse and the 2 of Cups in reverse. This, to me, is really giving me love spell gone wrong vibes. Love spell gone wrong vibes. Somebody here, and this is not for everybody, okay? So don't take it on. Don't get activated by the message, but somebody does need to hear this, okay? It's not everybody's story, but this is one thing that's coming through very powerfully. And I don't block what needs to come through. I don't. I'm going to put it out there. I give it straight up. Ted, my fetch, the German Shepherd, is giving a confirmation of yes on this. So I'm following through. We got to speak to it, okay? It's important. We got to speak to it, especially because I work with angel energy. So I can't ignore this message. This is a download coming in from the angels right now, for real. Somebody did a love spell. Somebody did a love spell. And all this dissension, the arguments, the difficulty with communication, all of this is like boomerang effect in relation to this love spell. That's why there is difficulty in this relationship. It is firm no from spirit. It's firm no. This is not for you. That's somebody's story. Okay? That is somebody's story. And I am picking it up that it's coming from the Leo Venus. Okay? Or the 5th house Venus placement. I feel, I can't even say that I feel like it was something done by somebody else. I'm not feeling that. I'm not. And sorry, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say pick what side you're on in that case. I'm getting a strong hit for somebody. This is somebody's message. They played around with love spells. They didn't really realize what the repercussions of that could be. And it caused a colossal mess, just a mess. It's messy, 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 messy energy. And there's definitely the need to cleanse your energy and get a purification back. For those of you that does not apply, I'm getting that it's really better for you to let this thing go. You might have felt very tempted to sort of like get in your last words, get in your last jabs, because I feel like you got done really dirty, really, really dirty. I feel like you had some plan for moving forward with this person. I think they really like built up your hopes. They built up your, your excitement. Maybe you had planned to go somewhere together. Maybe you had planned to meet up, go on a trip together, connect with each other. For some people, I'm getting this was a long distance situation. There was some promise of moving forward in this connection. It could even be like taking it to the next level. And then all of a sudden, this person just like fully pulled out of the connection out of nowhere, no explanation, no reason as to why they were doing it. And you feel so confused as to what happened. You have no idea what happened. For some of you, this could have been you got straight up ghosted and just out of nowhere. Communication gone. You're blocked on social media. You don't know where this person is. You don't know what happened. There was nothing that really happened between you. You know, there was no big major argument that went down, nothing like that. We're getting a clear sign from spirit. This is like, this is not the direction. This is a no. You don't want to go in this direction. It's time to balance out this energy. It's time to cleanse your energy. Give it over. Let us handle this. Okay. I don't think that you should open the door again to this person. I don't feel like you should communicate with this person. If you do have things you need to communicate, I think that it would be better to go and talk to, yeah, look at this, look at this, look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh, and there's that piece. There's that piece. The answer is very clear on this, okay? Do not take action toward this emperor. All right? Could be potentially Aries energy. When I call out the signs in a reading, this is any strong placement, Sun, moon, rising, Venus, north node. We're going to throw Mercury and Mars in the mix because of what's going on right now. Of course, Venus would come into play, very strongly too in a love read. But any strong placement in the chart. So if you don't know the person's natal chart, don't trip out on that. This is archetypal energy coming in with the major arcana. So really anybody can embody this energy. This is like big boss energy, okay? This is a very strong masculine energy, okay? And you do see the Ram association in the back. So once this person, has made up their mind about what they're going to do, they're firm. They don't budge. We have an Ace of Wands coming in with this, right? Which would imply like taking some action. But what do we got coming in right after that? We got the death. We got death. Okay. This is done. This was determined by spirit. It's like thumbs down. If you were in the Roman Colosseum and they were about to, determine if they were going to release the fucking lions on you, you'd be getting a thumbs down. That's what I'm saying. Okay. Something really, really out of pocket happened in this situation. There is betrayal here. I almost feel like I'm getting vibes of this, and this is probably why I felt like such a need to like clear the air with that eucalyptus that I was burning and bring in the piece about the cleansing baths and all of this. It was just like, and I do feel like that communication that was coming in from the cicadas, like they screech, and I feel there's this, like, that's how you feel inside. You want to screech like a banshee at the top of your lungs because of the way this person did you. What happened in this connection? You feel really betrayed. You also feel kind of like they're like looking back, laughing at you, and you may have gotten set up. There's, there's some fucked up people in the world. There are some people who, they're just very unhealthy and they have no regard for their actions, the way they affect other people. And for those of you that went through an experience like this, I am so sorry, because that is very painful. But we see clearly that something here was wrong. It was not the right path. It was moving out of harmony with spirit. It was something that potentially also, I have to say, with the Hierophant in reverse, the Hierophant also deals a lot with institutions, okay? It deals a lot with, people always just think spirit, but really it's more the intermediary between spirit. It's the priest, okay? But also the Hierophant is associated with like government institutions, any kind of, structures in society, this, it's like the man, okay? So potentially like being involved with this person could have taken you down a really dangerous path, actually, that could have got you in some trouble, with the law, depending on what their lifestyle was like. And I feel like maybe you don't know everything about this person. Maybe you were getting a little too close, and maybe this is why this person like cut you off. Maybe they got some secrets to hide, okay? We do see a definite moving away from this energy. All right. Again, we also see, I have to say, because of the other storyline that came in, right, where it was about somebody did a love spell and it backfired when we got here. We got the Magician to the King of Pentacles to the Queen of Swords to the Eight of Cups. This is moving towards a higher spiritual ideal. It is walking away from something that energy was invested in. So again, confirmation. This ending in this relationship for those that had the, occult spin applied to them, this needed to happen. It's part of the boomerang of that, spell where you forget. It's like the energy you put out there, it reverberates, it reverberates. And if you're moving out of pocket, and if you do stuff where you're using your will to try to make another bend to your will, it always has like a negative boomerang effect. Now, I'm not part of like the Wicca set, so I'm not about this like, by the power of three shit. I'm not. I'm just saying, if you're already in this kind of place within yourself where you're trying to do control spells on somebody that you claim to love, which, think about that. Control has nothing to do with love. And really, love spells aren't the way to go. They're not. They're bad juju. Like, every witch worth their salt knows, don't fuck with love spells. Just don't. Just don't. Because you're already moving out of that space of love. And working on that path is all about the alchemy of the self, right? It's all about the alchemy of the self, which means that you have to be in that place of, integrity within yourself, especially if you're hoping to enter into honest connection with another. So if you're over here doing these like manipulative workings, you may be able to like draw somebody's interest like temporarily, but the love's not there. And that's not the basis of the connection, obviously, clearly. And so there will be a disintegration. And what will you be left with? You will be left with the ugliness of that action. There's no other way for me to put it, really. The ugliness of that action of wanting to bind someone, of wanting to control someone, of wanting to force them to feel a certain way about you. It's very unhealthy. It's very unhealthy. And you got to do better. You got to grow beyond this. Okay. For the person that had that applied to them. I don't feel like that's a lot of people. I feel like it's a very small sector of the collective. But I feel like what you're dealing with, for those that story applies, you're dealing with a choice on your path. You're dealing with a choice on your path, okay? And it's all about what path are you going to choose. All right. For the rest of you, you had to make a choice, and I feel like the choice was to move away from this situation, and it should be to just like move forward, because this person is somebody that's not they're not somebody who can really meet you in that place of true, giving and receiving. And it looks like there were some really cruel things done in this connection. I'm looking at the top of the deck energy. Yeah, look, turn it over. Four of Swords. You got to let this go. Turn it over. Give it a rest. Okay. Let Spirit handle it. Again, this is a big like giving over to Spirit card. Four of Swords. It's like you need to let this go. I'm getting Let It Be. That song, Let It Be, coming through. Listen to that song. Read the lyrics of that song. The Beatles, Let It Be. That's what I'm getting. That's the energy of this connection. It's very important for you, okay? Now I'm going to look behind this. Yeah, again, I feel like this might have had something to do with a fire sign, all right? And it could have been strong Aries placement, because we did have the Emperor come up. But we see that this is in relation to a Knight of Wands, okay? And that's fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. With a Knight, the Knight kind of has a reputation of like, he's just out for fun, He's just out for fun. He just wants to have some good sex. He wants to hook up. He's not interested in a relationship. So this could have been a case of like somebody spitting some good game and just saying what they thought you wanted to hear so they could get in your pants. Maybe they knew you wanted a serious connection and they knew that if they came at you, you know, with some fuckboy shit, that that wasn't going to get them anywhere. And so they just said what they had to say to get what they wanted. And then when they got what they wanted, they were gone. It's fucked up, but it happens, you know, it happens. We do see, again, confirmation, double confirmations come up twice now, ending to this cycle. It's actually in your best interest. And even if this was a case, you know, where, you know, somebody did you dirty like this and has nothing to do with any kind of like love spell gone wrong, I highly suggest you give yourself a spiritual cleansing bath because I'm telling you, when you're intimate with somebody, you take on their energy. You take on their energy, like clear their energy out of your body. For those of you that are having that hit, I know that you've been really feeling this person in your space, and so that's why you're feeling like such a need to communicate because they're in your space. They're in your space, so the energy is still kind of like tugging on you. You're still like tethered to the energy. To clear it out, you need to just like give that energy its walking papers. Like it's time to go. You do not have a place at my table. You are not allowed in my energy. Like you need to go. And so doing a spiritual cleansing bath can be so helpful for you. It can help you get your energy back. All right. And this is good. All right. I want you to know, like, this is good. I know it doesn't feel that way right now, but this is good. This is the best thing that could have happened to you. Okay. Because we know that with the world card, what comes to an end, it brings success. There's success on the other side. The world card is a card of completion of a major growth cycle. Like you've paid off your karma in this cycle. You've learned the lesson and now it's time to transcend that and move into the new chapter of your life, which is so perfect because we do have a new moon coming up in Libra on the 25th. So it's an ideal time. It's an ideal time to really just accept this ending with grace, without fighting it, without feeling like you need to get in your last jabs, without wasting your time or giving this asshole any more rent in your consciousness, any more free rent in your consciousness by trying to hunt them down so you can tell them what's what. It's not gonna, they're not gonna care. They're not gonna care. They already showed that. They don't care. And I know that that sounds really harsh, but this is somebody's message. It's coming through really strongly. It's much better for you to let this go because when you let this go, what you find on the other side is true fulfillment, true happiness, true connection. All right. And rainbows, right? They're like a symbol of promise. That once the storm passes, something beautiful comes out the other side. And this is where you're really going to connect with that love that you've been missing, that love that you've been wanting. But with this energy in play, it's like it blocks you. It blocks you from actually stepping into that love that is earmarked for you, that is waiting for you on the other side. Okay. Yeah. Move away from this energy with the Six of Swords. It's time to leave those troubles behind you. It's time to head into a more peaceful cycle and give yourself time to rest and integrate. Don't be so quick to like get out there, you know, rush to get back out into the dating field or just trying to like just latch on to somebody else to, you know, distract you from the pain. Just trust, okay? Trust. With that Four of Swords, you need to turn it over and you need to trust. This is what's on the other side of this for you. Trust in divine timing. That's another piece of cicada medicine. They are about timing. Timing is everything, and they are about patience. All right. So you have to just be patient as you move away and do what you can to do this cleansing I'm talking about. Okay. This spiritual cleansing baths, because you see that even though this figure is being carted away from the troubles, they still have the swords in the boat with them. It's time to let that go. Don't let this take up your mental space. I feel like this is really like bothering you. I feel like it's really on your mind a lot. You're struggling with this a lot. You may even have anxiety about this. You might be having trouble sleeping because of this. You might be having nightmares around it. I'm picking this up really strongly, but I think that, you know, you got to clear it out. You got to clear it out. I do really recommend, even if it's not your faith, even if it's not your faith, Psalms 23, getting a nice 7-day white candle vigil going. The words, they're powerful. They're powerful, and they bring a lot of peace to the soul. And I feel like this would be so helpful for you, just to guide you through this time. And that candle, holding that light of hope as you move through the difficulties of letting this connection go, accepting the ending, accepting the release. That light in that candle can remind you that, even in the darkness, there's light. Like the light will return. It'll help to give you a feeling of hope and of comfort. And I think it's also important to honor the great endings in our lives. It's important to honor them, to pay our respects to them. And having this candle vigil is a way that you can do that. And working with Psalms 23 can just give you a lot of comfort and a feeling of being held and turning it over to spirit. Okay. Yeah. This is the balance. This is justice. All right. This is justice. To accept this ending with grace and to know that what happened here is karmic balance. Karmic balance. Now, I want to be clear about this because, at this point, there may be some people going, but I got done so dirty, and I'm a good person. I haven't hurt anybody, and I really try to, be loving and honest and open in this situation. I'm stuck my word. People need to understand that karma is the lessons that we come into this life with. It's like what you're here to learn in the school of life. They are carry over lessons from previous lives that weren't learned the last go around. So you can be a wonderful person with a warm heart who does good by everybody who comes on your path, but yet you always find that you're constantly struggling, that you're dealing with difficulties all the time, that things just never seem to go your way. Well, sometimes that's karma, and it's because you're working through powerful lessons that you can't learn any other way. It sucks. I know. It sucks. I know. I haven't had an easy life, I haven't had an easy life myself. But it's about understanding when things get really rough like that, when you're going through a difficult cycle, when you're experiencing a lot of pain. It's not that you're a bad person. Okay? Don't take on this shit that you hear in tarot land, where people are calling everybody karmics. They're all karmics too. Everybody's a fucking karmic. We all have fucking karma. If we didn't, we would not be here. So don't take on that bullshit from people. Don't take on people's projections because they have a superiority complex and they need to try to make you feel less than. Don't take that on. Okay? This is nothing about you being a bad person if you continually are having experiences like this. It just means you have a fiercer path to walk in life. Your feet are being held to the fire because some lessons can't be learned any other way than through that hanged man experience where you have to look at things through reversal. It's just the way it is. And we're in a huge karma cycle right now. Huge karma cycle right now. We've had this Pluto dance going on. There's been so much going on. So much of looking at our deepest wounds, okay, with the Aries and Chiron action, okay? And that's the wound of the self, okay? So we also got this generational healing coming up. We got ancestral healing coming up. We got DNA healing coming up. We got it all coming up. This is a very important juncture we are at a crossroads, and we are all contending with karma. And yeah, if you've moved out of pocket, if you were not operating ethically, and deep down you know that, I don't think that I'm telling you anything you don't know. Okay, for those that does apply to, you know, that backfires eventually, and you're gonna have to own the action. It's just the way it goes. You play, you pay. You always got to pay the piper. If you're gonna work with spell work, you got to own everything that comes with that. And I kind of feel, in a weird way, I feel like, in that storyline where somebody did a love spell and it backfired, I feel like this was a case of be careful what you wish for. You just might get it. And I feel like, yeah, your spell worked. You got the person, that you set as your target, but they turned out to be a fucking abuser. And you learn the hard way that, it's never good to manipulate in matters of the heart. And you suffered manipulation from them on a mental level. I'm getting this really strong, you know? So for those of you that are good people, you're not out there, you didn't do anything like that. You didn't manipulate anybody, and you just met this like really cruel person who took you for a ride, who left you hanging, who ghosted you, who broke your heart, and I feel like was emotionally abusive. I feel like they said a lot of really hurtful things. They put you down a lot. I think they wanted you to feel like you weren't worthy of love. I'm sad to say that this feels like somebody who really is a damaged person. And I don't know why people would be tuning into a love read if they're not interested in love, but I'm just going to throw it in there for those who are looking to come into a greater place of ability to give and receive love in their lives, and they're doing healing work. This could be in connection to like an abusive parent. It could be in connection to, an unhealthy friendship dynamic, somebody you were really close with, somebody that you went to an emotionally intimate place with. You just got to trust with justice showing upright here on the scene that this is just the way it turned out. It's justice, it's balance. Don't try to hold on to this thing. You're not losing anything. It's like it's good for this thing to go. And on the other side of it will be the 10 of Cups. Okay? We know this. Again, a confirmation. You will get movement forward. You will get your new beginning, okay? That Knight of Pentacles energy here. Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, okay? But that's a slow moving energy. It takes time to get the kind of beginning in love that you're looking for. Something real. Something where the person, what they say is followed up by actions that match, the picture they're painting for you. And they are very much about being at their word, showing up. They want to invest in you. They want to invest in the connection. They want to build with you. This is assured for you. This will come in for you, okay? But it's a slow moving energy. Right now, you need to balance your own energy, do your cleansing, have your grieving process, heal, cut the cords, let this thing go, dead it, let it come to an end, because what's right behind that? Boom, the Queen of Pentacles, okay? The Queen of Pentacles. So we see this energy graduates, right? It graduates. It goes from the Knight to the Queen. We see he's approaching the Queen of Pentacles. He's coming in, okay? So it's more like you need to embody this Queen of Pentacles energy. And you might have an earth sign strongly aspected in your chart somewhere. But I feel like you're stepping into this energy where it's about you really getting yourself grounded, getting yourself nurtured, getting to a place where you feel independently solid, stable in and of yourself on the other side of this thing. You might have had your finances kind of rocked by this situation too. So, getting your finances back in order, just getting yourself to a nice, grounded, nourished, healthy, stable place in your life. And once you get there, you're going to have somebody approach you who's really going to invest in you, just have your strength, okay? Have your strength to move through this tower. This tower had to fall. It was an illusion. You are overcoming. You are overcoming a karmic pattern that has played itself out in your life in one form or another from your past with this strength card. And you're going to tame it through gentleness, okay? Not through trying to fight, not through trying to control, not through trying to get in the last word edgewise. This is about coming into that place of healing and self-mastery within yourself. It's about doing any kind of release rituals you need to do so you can give reverence to this letting go process. You know, you could take it over to the ocean if you have access to the ocean. Give it over to the ocean. You know, offer up some white rose petals to the ocean, you know, asking, please cleanse me of this, you know, whatever rituals speak to you. For some of you, that may be, I'm going to go, I'm going to sit in the church, you know, I'm going to sit in the church and I'm going to pray. Whatever speaks to you, whatever helps you connect with this feeling of being able to give it over to spirit, okay, and letting it go and trusting that there's wisdom in this tower falling because it's destroying what was false so you can actually get to the other side of it and you can find something real. And it will come in with this Page of Cups when the time is right. When the time is right. But this is something that's going to develop slowly, all right? Yeah, you're on pause right now. Look at all your major heavy hitters here. The Hangman. You need to get a different view. You need to let this go. You need to trust. Right now, just trust. It's not time for you to take any actions in the love department. Confirmed further with the Nine of Pentacles. Pre-Empress energy. This is about you pouring your energy into yourself, finding self-fulfillment, getting to that grounded, stable place in your life, having your own abundance, and feeling very independently owned and operated on every level, okay? You need to think with your head right now. You need to think clearly, decisively, cut this off. King of Swords energy. This is air sign energy. All right. You need to move into like more of that air sign quality. You might be an air sign, but it's that ability to have this decisiveness where you're like, nope, this does not serve. I'm cutting this off and operating from a more logic place than getting all wrapped up in your emotions, which might feel a little confused right now, you know? So I told you, I saw like that Nine of Swords energy, having trouble sleeping, having a lot of anxiety about this, right? You feel that way because the energy is still attached to you. That's why you need to do this cleansing, all right? You'll feel better on the other side of that. You clear this out, it's so confirmed. What does it bring you? It brings you the 10 of Pentacles, all right? This is what you're looking for. You want commitment. You want a happy home. You want somebody who will build with you, who will grow with you. It comes in for you. The 10s only come in when there's been an ending. You have to first close out the old cycle. So this is like your read is like fully like everything you want is on the other side of fear. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. You just got to get out of the way. Okay. You got to trust this process, this letting go process. It's going to turn out beautifully for you. You're going to get the healing you need. And you have spiritual assistance here to help you. So pull on it, okay? And I'm going to just do a final cut of the deck energy on this because I feel like this is the message that's come through so strongly. Yeah, this brings the healing you need, okay? There is healing here. Right now is your time to heal. So just open yourself up to receive the healing you need. Focus on yourself right now. Focus on nourishing yourself. You know, get together with your friends. Pick a couple really close friends you have, people that you really trust, people who allow it to be okay, to be wherever you happen to be. You know, they don't try to force you out of your process. They don't try to move you through your grief sooner than you're ready to, you know, but maybe bring some of these people around, you know, let them remind you that there's more to life than just, you know, being in a relationship. Let them remind you of the value of other relationships in your life and try to find some enjoyment, you know, get out of the house. I feel like maybe you've been spending too much time isolated. Like connect with some other people that lift your spirits, you know, and give you a sense of positivity. And I think you're going to find things a lot better. And I mean, hey, woo, wow, this is beautiful. Yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Because look what's on the other side of it. Just, let this go. Don't let it trip you out so much. Because what we see on the other side of that, we see that Ace of Pentacles coming in that was promised by the Knight of Pentacles approaching, right? It's going to come in. This is the timing card as well. Spring timing card. This Ace of Pentacles, man, it's been coming up for a lot of the readings. I feel like a lot's really going to pop off in the spring. We're kind of like closing out and like starting to build the light as we move through the fall and the winter season. And then what's on the other side of that? True pair. Queen of Wands, King of Wands. Okay, this is a passionate connection coming in. So that's a really beautiful energy. It might be like fire earth combo, and it starts a brand new adventure, a brand new cycle with the Fool. You might travel with this person, and I think this is going to make you feel like inspired again. You're going to feel enthusiastic about life again, and it's perfect because it is Six of Pentacles. It's a give and take connection. You're not going to be feeling like you're left out in the cold in this connection. So do your healing work, do your cleansing work. Whether you were one of the few, that did a love spell gone wrong, or maybe you trusted somebody to do a love spell for you. I know there's like a lot of misinformation out there. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring this onto YouTube and speak from the perspective of somebody who's pretty much been a practicing witch their whole life. And I've worked on many different paths, and I've had a lot of different experiences, and I've had to get my chops. All right. I've had my own feet held to the fire as I grew in the path of alchemy. And I'm just telling you, I know there's a lot of people out there spreading misinformation. There's a lot of people that will use you for money, and tell you that they can like bring back your person, or they can get you the person that you want, and they'll make it out like there's nothing that's the least bit, wrong about it, or that it's in any way manipulative. And it fully is. Okay. It fully is. And by the way, I mean, all spell work is manipulative to a certain extent. Okay. Even having like just vision boards, or any kind of positive affirmation type work, where you're lighting candles. I mean, it's all manipulative to a certain level because you're working with energy. Okay. But when it goes against somebody else's free will, that's where there's a real problem. And there's no clean way to do that in love. There just isn't. There just isn't. And especially if you got some person you don't know doing spell work for you who asks you for a bunch of money to do it, what kind of quality do you think they're going to bring to the working? I've known of people who work in occult shops that do workings for people that charge, and they like just fuck off when they do the spell work on purpose. Okay, so be smart. Don't get into this shit. Stay out of trouble. I'm giving you the real deal here. All right. You don't need that. Use your workings to heal yourself. Use your workings to refine yourself. Use your workings to release the blocks within yourself. Do workings that are about cleansing the blocks, everything inside of you that blocks love. Make it about you. Okay. Make it about you. Don't turn it into something about anybody else. Because at the end of the day, it is about us. And I see you through this ending, this painful ending. You're going to really discover this, and you're going to come into that place of healing and really full ownership of yourself. And you're going to feel empowered. And then once you're in that place where you're really feeling yourself and your fire is forward, here comes your match. Here comes your person. And it's a beautiful, passionate connection and a new beginning. Give it time, and do what you need to let go with grace. I wish you blessings and lots of comfort to your heart. Lots of comfort and healing to your heart. It'll be okay.